Good morning, children. We were reading the autobiography of Roald Dahl. So let's continue with the chapter to see what happens next. As I went upstairs and knocked on the brown door after breakfast, I did not even feel frightened of the matron. Who is a matron? Matron is a woman who is in charge of the living and the medical arrangements of the children at a boarding school. So, when Roald went upstairs to meet his matron to tell her that what was he going through or what was the problem he had. He didn't feel frightened at all. Normally, students at the boarding school were afraid of matron, but on that day he was feeling very bold and very bravely he went upstairs to meet her. Come in, boomed the voice. Boomed means suddenly to speak something or to shout. So when he knocked the door, he heard a voice from inside to come in. I entered the room, clutching my stomach on the right hand side and staggering pathetically. So, as he had observed his sister very carefully, very closely, that when you had or when it is a pain of appendix or appendicitis, so where it exactly pains. So what he did, he held his stomach from the right hand side and staggering pathetically means, and he started walking in a way as if he was in so much pain. What's the matter with you? The matron shouted. So when she saw him walking like that, she asked him, "But what is the problem?" "It hurts, matron," I moaned. "Oh, it hurts so much, just here." So when the matron asked him that what was the reason why he was walking like that, he moaned. Moaned means to speak in a very low voice, to show as if the person is physically not well. So he very slowly spoke that he was in pain. It was hurting him. "You have been overeating," she snapped. "What do you expect if you gobble cake all day long?" "I haven't eaten a thing for days," I lied. "I couldn't eat, matron. I simply couldn't." So, snapped here means to say something at the exact time. So, as soon as Roll told her that he was suffering with pain, immediately she said that it is because you have been, or he had been overeating. He had eaten the cake the entire day, and this pain was because of that. Then he told matron that it was not because of that. He lied actually. He said that he had not eaten anything from so many days. "Get on the bed," she ordered. So to this statement, she said, "Okay, lie on the bed. Let me check that what is the problem." I lay on the bed and she began prodding my tummy with her fingers. Prodding means to push with a pointed object. It, I was watching her carefully, and when she hit what I guessed was the appendix place, I let out a cry that rattled the window panes. "Ow! Ow!" I cried out. "Don't, matron, don't." Then I slipped in the clincher. "I have been sick all morning," I moaned, "and now there is nothing left to be sick with, but I still feel sick." Rattled. Rattle means to make a sharp noise. So, in order to understand Roald's problem, the matron started pushing his stomach. As Roald had observed his sister carefully, so as soon as the matron pushed the place which he thought to be the place of appendix, he started shouting with pain and told her that he had already vomited out everything and now nothing else was left in his stomach which could make him sick. This was the right move. I saw her hesitate. "Stay where you are," she said, and walked quickly from the room. She had had a nurse training, and she did not want a ruptured appendix on her hands. Ruptured means broken. Okay, in this para number 25, this these group of words, I slipped in the clincher. These words means what? to give a statement that would prove a situation. So in order to prove that he was in so much of pain and he had not eaten anything, he added to that that I had not eaten anything from so many days and I had vomited out everything in the morning. So there is nothing left in my stomach which can make me more sick. So this was the right move. I saw her hesitate. So when matron heard all these things and when she did her part of prodding, she immediately understood that there was some problem in the stomach. Rawls succeeded in making her believe that he had appendicitis. And as she was a trained nurse, she did not want to be held responsible for broken appendix. Within an hour, the doctor arrived and he went through the same prodding and poking. And I did my yelping at what I thought were the proper times. Then he put a thermometer in my mouth. He said, it reads normal. Let me feel your stomach once more. Ouch! I screamed when he touched the vital spot. Vital means main or important. So immediately the matron called a doctor, and the doctor also examined him in the same way as the matron did. And Rold ensured to continue moaning whenever the doctor touched the part of stomach which Rold thought to be the place of appendix. The doctor went away with the matron. Like the matron, he must have felt it safer to send me home rather than risk an appendicitis operation in the school. The matron returned half an hour later and said, the headmaster has telephoned your mother and she is coming to fetch you this afternoon. Finally, Roll succeeded. To avoid the risk of operation at the boarding school, the doctor and the matron thought it to be safe to send him home. And so his mother was called to take him home. I didn't answer her. I just lay there trying to look very ill. But my heart was singing out with all sorts of wonderful songs of praise and joy. So this made Roald very happy, and this was what he expected. I was taken home across the Bristol Channel, and I felt so wonderful at being away from the school that I very nearly forgot I was meant to be ill. That afternoon, I had a session with Dr. Dunbar in Cardiff, and I tried the same tricks all over again. But Dr. Dunbar was far wiser and more skillful than either the matron or the school doctor. So as he was on the way to his home, Bristol Channel, Bristol Channel means a narrow water passage of Atlantic Ocean. So as he was on his way, he almost forgot that he was pretending to be ill. He was so happy that he forgot that what he was pretending at the boarding school. When he reached home, he was taken to his family doctor, Dr. Dunbar, who was in Cardiff for checkup. But Dr. Dunbar was wise enough to understand that Roald was just pretending to be ill. After he had prodded my stomach and I had done my yelping routine, he said to me, now you can get dressed again and seat yourself on that chair. He himself sat down behind his desk and fixed me with a penetrating but not unkindly eye. You are faking, aren't you? He said. After the checkup, he gave Roald a sharp look and said that he was telling a lie. Dr. Roald was wise enough to understand that he was just pretending to be ill. How do you know? I blurted out. Because your stomach is soft and perfectly normal, he answered. If you had had an inflammation down there, the stomach would have been hard and rigid. It's quite easy to tell. Then he told him that it was very easy to understand that he was telling a lie, as Roald's stomach would have been hard if he had any painful swelling in his stomach. I kept silent. I expect you are homesick, he said. I nodded miserably. So when Dr. Dunbar told him that he knew Roald was homesick and he was not ill, so to this, Roald agreed. Nodded miserably means he accepted that he was homesick. Everyone is at first, he said. You have to stick it out. Stick it out is a phrase which means to face difficult situations with courage and patience. And don't blame your mother for sending you away to boarding school. She insisted you were too young to go, but it was I who persuaded her it was the right thing to do. Life is tough, and the sooner you learn how to cope up with it, the better for you. So Dr. Dunbar asked him to face situations courageously. He also clarified that he was the one who persuaded Roald's mother for sending him to a boarding school, as Dr. Dunbar wanted him to understand that the life is tough and sooner he learned to cope up with it, the better it would be for him. What will you tell the school? I asked him, trembling. So to this, Roald was quite, he was actually very scared because he thought that Dr. Dunbar had understood that he was not ill. So he asked him a question that, okay, now you have found that I am not ill. So what are you going to tell the school? I will say you had a very severe infection of the stomach, which I am curing with pills, he answered, smiling. It will mean that you must stay home for 3 more days. But promise me you won't try anything like this again. Your mother has enough on her hands without having to rush over to fetch you out of school. So Dr. Dunbar was kind enough. So he told Roald that he would inform the school authorities that he had severe stomach infection and would need rest of 3 4 days. He also asked Roald to promise him not to do anything like that again, as his mother remained occupied with other work, and so she didn't have much time to come to him or to go to him again and again for one or the other reason. I promise, I said, I will never do it again. And this time, Roald accepted his fault and he said that this thing will not be repeated again. So, children, the theme of this story is stick it out, which means to face difficult situations with patience and courage rather than running away from them. Thank you.